Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I don't know what time it is where you are, but we're talking about yesterday's Algorand news anyway, because you're a day late and algo short, so let's hop to it. If you are on Twitter, hit hashtag algonews, or you can find me at Real Monty Allen, because I am, of course, Monty Allen, and I am your crypto nerd. So let's start today. We've got a lot to cover, and my guy, my Algorand detective, you know who I'm talking about, the Algo Batman, found this Rove investment company that I hadn't really covered before. I wasn't familiar with it. It looks like they started accepting early bids or investors about a month ago, and I don't know. Now that I look at it, maybe I saw it, but I don't recall ever seeing commercial real estate with Algorand. And that's what we're talking about here. We're talking about commercial real estate investment. Now, I've covered Lofty and Pocket Properties and Vesta pretty extensively, and there's a few others on the horizon. And those are all retail, not commercial. Retail investing, or, investing for, single-family residents, maybe multi-units, but it's not commercial investing. And Rove wants to do commercial investing, which is interesting. So we're talking about commercial real estate is units of 4 or more, if you're not familiar with like the technical term. So a fourplex is still, a private investor or it's a retail type of a transaction. Commercial transaction is entirely different. So if you went to like a Bank of America or a Quicken Loans and said, hey, I want a mortgage, they would make sure that you had 4 units or less. If you want a commercial loan, that's a business loan. That's a whole different ballgame. Anyway, they let you invest down to it said $5 there on the app. That's a pretty amazing deal. So they're looking for small-time investors, a bunch of, lay people like you and I who can invest in commercial real estate. And traditionally, commercial real estate has been harder to get into. Go to their website. You can fill out some of the, enter your email to kind of stay abreast of what's going on. Their website's got a wealth of information. They've got a bunch of content on here. You saw a few minutes ago, I think I passed by, they had been featured in like Fast Company and I think on Forbes. I didn't look to see what articles they had on there, what the coverage was like, if it was just themselves posting there, or if it was, they actually got some coverage. You can also follow them on Twitter here. I actually hit them a follow. They don't seem to push the Algorand feature of their real estate very much. Look, they started in February of 2019. I just realized that. And, it seems like they're still kind of, in that startup phase. But they do want to accept Algorand. So I'm not sure where they came up with that idea or what their association is. But here's one interesting thing. They don't want to necessarily use Algorand as the investment tool. Instead, they're talking about collateralizing Algorand. Now, I haven't seen anybody that's working it like this. So I've seen some places that are just using the Algo blockchain to, make their own ASAs or NFTs, or, they'll accept Algorand, but then, they liquidate it, essentially sell it so that they can invest, traditionally. But Rove wants to collateralize your Algorand. So you're not actually selling your Algorand, you're borrowing against it to invest in commercial real estate. So the Algorand is your collateral. And I haven't seen anything like that. I thought that was not only interesting, but creative as well. And I was wondering about the tax implications of that as well. Now, I'm not a tax professional by any means, but I have looked at borrowing against my crypto at some point in the future because it might be tax efficient that way. So go check it out, do your own research, but it's interesting to say the least. All right, now on to some NFT info. So we got kind of a bootleg almost copy of this Zoom meeting that Silvio did. The audio was terrible, so I'm going to make sure the audio is off here. And I'm just going to give you the Professor Sundance kind of a breakdown of what Silvio says here. And he covers a lot in a short amount of time. And Silvio, he's almost too smart for his own good sometimes, right? So I'm going to try and simplify what he says into several bullet points here. So number one, it's really important that there's no forking. He talks a lot about having, a blockchain should be a linear line, or it should just be linear, but a lot of blockchains are not truly linear. And so you want to make sure that there's no forking. There he is. He's given the demonstration, visually with the linear. Number two, it's low cost of entry and creation. So it's very inexpensive to create on the Algorand blockchain. If you were to create on some other blockchains, he gave some examples. It might be $100 to create, an NFT on like the Ethereum blockchain. Depends on what you're doing and how much you want to create and what the volume. There's a lot that goes into it, but the low cost of creating on the Algorand blockchain is significant. Also, he talks a lot about the tech of Algorand, specifically the smart contracts and auctions and how that's good for NFTs. And I have to agree. So nobody really wants to go first when we're talking about an exchange. And I'll show you here, kind of a marketplace on Reddit. And nobody wants to just trust someone and say, okay, I'll send you the money first. You send me the MVT after. Let's do it. You want to do it at the same time, like an atomic swap type of a situation, smart contract. And so he talks a lot about that, and he talks a little bit about the auctions too. And yes, all of that built-in layer 1 is fantastic, and it does make it easier and more reliable and safer to use Algorand if you're an NFT creator, and also if you are a consumer. If you want to purchase NFTs, the system is very safe and secure for the whole process, really. And then it's efficient. If you wanted to transfer the NFT in the future, if you wanted to send it to someone else, he talks a lot about sending an NFT that, let's say it was on the Ethereum blockchain. If you wanted to send, a very expensive piece of art, $100,000 piece of artwork, that could get very expensive. However, it's not expensive on the ASA type of a market where you're creating NFTs on the Algorand blockchain. Cost doesn't change really. So the secondary market for NFTs really could be prolific on Algorand. Now, so not only is there an NFT marketplace for, creators, and obviously he wants to capture the hearts and minds of creators and encourage these folks to share their beauty with the community and with the public at large. But he also wants to have an ecosystem where it's very easy to purchase, resell, trade. There's a lot of these trading cards. I see a lot of NFTs, right? We've got the Algoverse, Algo World. They're trading cities. We've got the Algo Bros out there. There's a lot of these like collections that are really interesting, kind of like really just like old school baseball cards, Silvio also talks about the NFTs that he had from Italy and his connection there, obviously, him being from Italy and the 4.5 million NFTs that got put there, and a lot of good things with NFTs. But the thing that really captured everyone's attention from this, and we knew he was going to kind of talk about it, was the idea that he is trying to put together the project or encourage the project where it's cross-platform, where you can have easy access via the Algorand blockchain to an NFT that was on the Ethereum blockchain, and you could cross-platform. And so people that created on Ethereum, you could convert your NFT over to Algorand and basically probably destroy the original or something along those lines. I'm not sure. It seems like there's a lot still to be discovered about what's going on there, but the fact that he wants to make it easier for people to migrate from other blockchains to Algorand, or for Algorand to interact with other blockchains, is fantastic. So we see this happening more and more, and we're calling it like the migration, right? If we are going to overtake as a blockchain some of these other, top 5, top 10 blockchains, we're going to have to beat them at their own game and make it easier for their users who have already been embedded and invested in that tech to move over. We want to make it as easy as possible for them to say yes to Algorand, right? We want to make it as easy as possible for them to work with us, and then to find out, it's easiest to just work with this blockchain right from the get-go. So I think that what he's doing here, what he's encouraging here, is going to pay dividends for us down the road. Now, I'm loving the NFT marketplace. I want to feature an NFT artist here, JL Studio. So JL Studio, I think I can actually show some of his work here. Let's see if we can get it to go. Yes. All right. So you can take a look at some of his work that he's got posted here on Instagram. Now, these images are static. He's got one I think that we can hit play on here, and it's kind of cool. I love the feeling here. It's that kind of takes me to a fantasy world. It takes me to some place where reality isn't necessarily what we see right now. And this kind of reminds me of Doctor Who, actually, is what that does. But I like to be, taken someplace else, escapism. I've got enough problems in my real world, right? I bet you do too. I like to review artwork that takes me to someplace else, some kind of a fantasy world, and makes me feel like, you know what, if that place were there, if I could get transported there for just a little while, man, wouldn't that be amazing? So, take a look at his stuff here. I've also got some of his Reddit stuff here, and some of the Reddit stuff is actually cool because it shows the motion. So I think we can see a little bit of that. Now, full disclosure, All In Quinn. So I want to give a big shout out to All In Quinn, who I met through, I think initially through Reddit, and then also through his Discord group. I don't think he spends a lot of time on Twitter, but All In Quinn introduced me to some of these NFT marketplaces and specifically some artists, put a connection there between me and JL Studios here. Full disclosure, I got a couple of NFTs just to kind of review and see how the exchange went, what they look like in my wallet. And I was impressed with the process, how to view them. I didn't even understand how to view the NFT once it made it to my wallet. It's not difficult at all. A quick Google search, you can view these things. There's some galleries out there. And I think that they are amazing. And I was impressed with how quickly this artwork was transferred, the quality that you can view in these galleries, and the speed with which the whole thing happened. And then Silvio backing all of this. The NFT marketplace, it just seems primed to take off. Go check out JL Studios. I think the work is amazing. It's beautiful. It's kind of surreal, and look at the fingers touching. They're kind of reminiscent of some traditional artwork there that you may recognize. Anyway, I love the throwbacks, and man, I just love this whole ecosystem. Thank you all for watching. Algorand is amazing. It's growing every day. And you all, the feedback that I get from the ALGO fam has been amazing. I love doing these videos. It's the best part of my day. So thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. And we'll see you probably Monday. I don't think I have any weekend activity. Oh, Sunday, 1 p.m. I forgot. We do have the Algorand roundtable group. And I think we're going to have a couple other special guests. So 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We do that in Twitter Spaces. All right. Thanks again. Stay safe. And we'll see you.